President Trump tonight has paused a decision to roll back Obama-era regulations banning hunters from bringing trophies from elephants killed in Zimbabwe and Zambia into this country. The president wrote on Twitter, quote, "Put big game trophy decision on hold until such time as I review all conservation facts. Understudy for years. Will update soon with Secretary Zinke. Thank you." Also germane to this discussion, the fact that the president's sons, Eric and Don Jr., are big game hunters. Don Jr. especially has posted a slew of photos with former wild animals, including one where he's just holding a tail in case we miss the point. Obviously, we have no idea if their hobby had any bearing on this ruling, but we wanted to talk about this for a second night, and joining us to do that, Jeff Corwin, wildlife biologist, conservationist, and Emmy-winning TV host of Ocean Treks. Jeff, what do you make of this issue? It's hard to know what to make of what's going on here.
Well, here's the story. The backstory of Africa is that of the 54 countries in Africa today, only 6 of them allow hunting, big game commercial hunting. And the reason for that is the complexities, the controversies, the graft that comes with this industry that has happened throughout Africa, and the great challenge of regional populations, of locals that live in these countries, do not have access to these resources, particularly to hunt them as big game hunters, yet rich, wealthy people of privilege from Europe and the United States can go to these countries and hunt these animals and take these resources back as trophies. In the United States, Brian, we have a long history of a partnership between hunting, land management, and conservation based in regulation, enforcement, and in science. But in countries like Zimbabwe, which recently just underwent a potential military coup with President Mugabe recently under house arrest, where is the stability there, Brian, to ensure that the checks and balances are in place to manage this lethal activity?
The theory works out. There's a group in the United States, Ducks Unlimited. It's duck hunters who are also making sure that there will be ducks for everyone and a healthy duck population in the United States. But to your point, in the middle of a coup, do we really think, as a secretarial matter, that permits are going to get paid and delivered to the right people in Zimbabwe to care for the elephant population when their longtime leader just got carted off by the military?
Exactly, Brian. You hit the nail on the head. Look at a group like Ducks Unlimited. Yes, at the core of their interests are sportsmen and women who like to go out and hunt ducks. But through that activity, they raise millions and millions of dollars. Hunters in the United States raise over $34 billion every year, and a portion of that will go to habitat reclamation, species conservation. Ducks Unlimited has helped to lock up millions of acres of wetland habitat. Now look at Zambia, which now, up to recently, was being favored as opening up its status for the importation of these elephant trophies. Zambia, in a very short period of time, just over 30 years, the population of elephants has dropped from 200,000 animals to 21,000 animals. In Africa, at the turn of the century, Brian, there was more than 1,200,000 lions. Today, only 20,000 remain. I bring this up because unlike a white-tailed deer, which is hunted recreationally in the United States, has a very robust population, when you're an endangered species, when there's only 5,000 black rhino left, only 20,000 white rhino left, a handful of cheetahs spread out throughout Africa, they are too precious and too vulnerable to be exploited for something such as big game hunting. The idea that conservation plays a role in this, if you want to protect these species, donate the money, protect habitat, be a part of the conservation solution.
Be a part of the solution. Jeff, thank you. Some of this is just too difficult to think about if you're an animal lover, as we both are.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.